Hello everyone. I decided to start this channel as a Linux noob. This is my Linux Mint desktop, and I wanted to share today a little bit of knowledge in Linux. So one of the things I wanted to show today is Vim. So let's go ahead and open up a terminal. You can see I got my terminal open here from the dock down there. I can also open it up if I use Rofi, or I could also just hit that, do a little keyboard shortcut there. I'll talk more about my desktop and how I have it configured later on. But I've been using Linux since September 3 of 2019, so I have just over a year in on Linux, and it has been a complete learning journey. I have Vim already installed, and the reason I'm doing this is because Vim seems kind of hard to new users, but I learned it actually pretty easy. There's this thing called Vim Tutor. So if you just go ahead and type Vim Tutor, if you go ahead and just type that in, you can go ahead and start using Vim Tutor to teach you how to use Vim. Now, when you install Vim, Vim Tutor comes with it, and basically it's just a text document that helps you run through Vim. So let's go ahead and make this a full screen application. I got another keyboard shortcut here that's going to help us out with that. And some of these are custom keyboard shortcuts. I'll show you how to do that in another video. But basically this is Vim. It's just a terminal text editor, and Vim Tutor, well, it teaches you how to use it. So you can see here in the top screen, it'll tell you, a little bit about Vim and how to move around with Vim, which is the HJKL. You can see right down here to show you that, how to move around. It's super easy, super simple. You see down here, if you hold down J, it'll move you down continuously. So let's go ahead and move down to lesson 1.2. All right, got a nice little note down here. You can press escape to go back to normal mode, but we're not going to worry about that right now. I mean, if you guys want to go through this, you can. Let's go ahead and begin strolling down. So we're going to go ahead and put our hands on the home row here and get on our HJKL, and we're going to stroll right down. And this will take us through to the next section. So I'll just make sure that's all the way down to where we can have it at the top. There we go. Now, you can see it tells us how to quit Vim. Very, very simple. So if you wanted to quit Vim, you just hold down Shift, go ahead and bring up that comma right there, or colon, and then you just do Q. And then you hold Shift and hit the 1 key to get the exclamation mark, and then you just hit enter, and that'll quit Vim. But we want to go back into Vim Tutor, so let's go ahead and go back into Vim Tutor, and it regenerates that file every single time. So even if you made edits in that file, don't worry. It even tells you in the tutor that even if you made edits, it's not going to change the actual file. It's a learning file. It's just a text document that helps you learn Vim, and it's super simple, super easy. So we just learned how to quit Vim just by right here. Right there. That's how we quit Vim. That line just showed us how to do it. So we're not going to worry about that for now. Let's go ahead and continue down to lesson 1.3. Text editing. All right, so now that we know how to move our cursor, let's go ahead and fix the errors in the line below. So they're telling us to use X to delete an unwanted character. You can see right here, it tells us about that. Whoops. So I just kind of got a little, yeah, there we go. So we use X to do that. So let's go ahead and move down a few. Whoops. All right. So we can fix this just by tapping X. So you see right there, we got the cow right there. So we can take one of those C's off just by doing that. And let's move forward a little bit more. Now in my terminal, I have the blinking line. I think yours might have the little dot thing, and you might not like that. So you can change your terminal to be a little bit more what you want it to be. So like I like the little line instead of that blinking square that's there, and I'll show you how to get to that. So basically right up here, on edit, you go up here to preferences, and you can see I have my own profile right here. Basically all I did is I hit this button right here that'll let you create a new profile. This is the default one, unnamed, that is on the system by default, excuse me. But I created my own, named it with my name, and then, you know, I just set the terminal width and height that I wanted it to be. I set the font there, and see I switched to the I-beam. I think the default is the block, but I switched to the I-beam. I like I-beam better. And enabled cursor blinking. I think that's on by default. Then I went over here and changed to the built-in scheme to be gray on black. I think the default is system scheme or whatever it is, and I mean they have other ones too, like there's green on black for that matrix look or whatever. See, so you can see the text has changed and become very bright. I like my gray on black, very simple, and I turn my scroll bars off as well. And yeah, this is just, once you get through making your profile the way you want, then you just go ahead and click right here, set it as the default profile, hit close, and then you close your terminal and reopen it for all the changes to take effect, especially when you're resizing your terminal. Let's go ahead and quit Vim really quickly here, and I'll show you something. I'm going to show you a quick change, so that way you'll know what to look for. So right here, right, so you have that at 160. So if I change that down to just let's change this down to 80, right? Let's just change it to 80 and close. So now let's close our terminal. Yep, let's just close it. And now when we open our terminal again, see the width has changed to 80. So now we don't want it at 80 because it's way too narrow. I like it to pop up as a big terminal, so that's why I keep it at 160. So in order to see those changes take effect, you basically, once you put that in there, go ahead and close. Now close the terminal, and then when you bring it back up, bam, see? So now it's a big terminal again. And now let's go back to full screen, and then we'll jump right back into Vim Tutor. Whoops. All right, now we'll stroll right back down here. I think we're at section 1.3. So that way, if you have that block and it's a little annoying to use, you can go ahead and change that out. So you can see the correction that I made earlier has reverted back to normal. I deleted this C earlier. Let's go back into the lesson here. So we go ahead and hit X right in front of that C, and that'll change that double C to a standard C. And then we'll go ahead and move over here. So we got another correction we want to make here. So we can go ahead and hit X again. And then, you know, just go through the Vim Tutor. We can just keep moving along. Now, it looks like I'm moving a little bit faster doing it. That's because I've done this Vim Tutor like 3 or 4 times. And once you go through this Vim Tutor, it'll take you maybe, if you take your time, like just, you know, doing it at a snail's pace, you'll still get through this in about like 20-30 minutes max. But it's super simple, super easy, and get you right through Vim Tutor. I love it. I love it. And once you learn how to use Vim, here's the thing. Vim is super powerful. I enjoy using it when I have to, but I would not, you know, as a noob, switch to just using Vim. Like Vim only. I like having the knowledge of it, and I thought that it would be a great program to use because I get the same UI no matter what system I'm on. But there's just one small problem I didn't get with Vim, and that's the buffer system that it uses, because I'm so used to using Control C for copy, Control V for paste. Vim does have a copy paste feature into it. It's the yank put system. As you go through the lesson here, you'll get more about that. But and you can do some things that will allow you to change your buffer to the system clipboard, I think it is. I have been unsuccessful in doing this so far. I haven't given up on it. It's just that right now it's not a priority for me to get that straight. I still have my GUI text editor. Here's one right up here that I use. This is VS Codium. They have VS Code, And then there's VS Code-yum. Code-yum is basically VS Code with the telemetry stripped out. So that's why I chose it. I was using VS Code on Windows until I learned about VS Code-yum, and then I switched to Code-yum. I didn't want the telemetry. But even if I had it, it would not be that big of a deal to me. But I'm just going through this to show you. So let's continue on with the lesson, just a few more here. I just want to show you how simple and easy Vim is to learn. Now we're about to go into lesson 1.4, which will show you a little bit about insert mode. Now this tutor here isn't made to make you some super hacker that will learn every single thing there is to learn about Vim. Basically, it's going to give you the default user experience of Vim. You will use Vim like your natural text editors. You won't know every single thing about it, but if you wanted to spend a little extra time learning about Vim, I'm sure you can learn everything there is to know about it. But Vim's super simple. It's just a very efficient text editor, and I enjoy having the knowledge of how to use Vim. It's not as scary anymore, especially when you're new to Linux. The terminal can be quite I don't want to say scary, but you get real nervous about doing anything in the terminal, you know. I always use the example of I don't want to accidentally hack into a Russian nuclear power plant and blow up something, right? I just want to get some work done and not be fooling around in the terminal. But it's super simple. So let's go down to the next lesson here. All right. There's a text missing here. So here we go. So we're going to go ahead and enter insert mode here. So let's go ahead and hit I so we can go into insert mode. Now you'll see at the bottom left, the insert mode right down here just became active. I'm going to hit escape so it'll disappear. See, it disappeared. Now we're in command mode. It showed something on the bottom right here when we entered command. I'm going to hit I again, but look down here on the bottom left when I hit I. There you go. We're in insert mode. Now look on the bottom right down here. Command mode, you see. Now let's go back into insert mode once more. Okay, now that we're in insert mode, we can use our arrow keys to get around. You don't use the HJKL in insert mode because you're inserting text. So if I tried to do that like HJK, you see what I mean? It's not going to be a thing you do once you're in insert mode, but you just type normally in insert mode. Whoops. Let's go and get back over to here. So let's go ahead and put that in there, and then there's some text missing from this line. Oh, okay, so we have to complete the line. I forgot. So we go back over here, and then we do some text missing from this line. And see, what they wanted you to do is practice going in and out of insert mode so that you can just go back over to here and then jump back into insert mode, which will then allow you to do line and then exit insert mode again with escape. So it's super simple, super easy. I mean, just look at how fast we just did that, right? And this is some of the basic stuff that you're going to be using Vim for anyways, just editing text. Editing text should not be complicated. Vim, the program, is not complicated at all. Like everything else out there in the world, you have to spend a little bit of time just learning how it works, and then from there, you're going to knock it right out of the park. Super simple, super easy. Let's go ahead and go into our next lesson. Lesson 1.5. I have a cough drop in, so if I sound a little weird, I have a cough drop in. That's why I have to stop and turn away from the mic, swallow, and things of that nature. Pardon me. Okay, so let's move the cursor down, and we're going to press A and type the necessary additions. Okay, A is used to append, so it's basically like an insert mode, but you're appending. So it's virtually the same as a insert mode. Let's get over here to this line right here, and then what we're going to do, we're going to hold shift, hit A. That'll take us back into insert mode. So then we do this line, and then we hit, oh, we put a period at the end there, and then we do escape. See, so we just did that. We're back in the command mode because we hit escape. Now let's scroll back down over to here. Whoops. And as you go through it, you're going to be mistaking the keys a little bit, but that's all a part of the learning process. You'll get right through it, super simple and easy. And now I'm at the end of this line, right? So when I get to the end of this line, I can't go beyond that second S, but that's by design. It's fine. So when I hold down shift and hit A again, it'll put me at the end of that S. You see? So now let me hit escape, and you see it puts me before the S. But let's go back over here into append mode, which is basically insert mode. So we're going to hold shift and hit A. They're just teaching you that there are other ways. If you didn't want to use I, you can hold shift and hit A. So now let's go ahead and finish the line here. There we go. So we just finished the line. Let's hit escape. And now we've completed it. Let's go down here. We're going to do one more lesson. I just wanted to show you guys just how simple it is to learn and use Vim. Aha. Now see, this one right here is very important because it shows you how to not just quit Vim, but how to save your changes. See? So right here, you can see it's showing you that the WQ is how you save the file, the changes that you've just made. Now, it also tells you that you're not going to be overwriting this lesson and everything. And we're at our lesson summary. So if we wanted to write and quit here, we could, but we're not going to do it here. I'm going to show you using Vim in my bashrc. So let's just go ahead and quit Vim. We're going to hold shift and hit colon, do Q, and then we're going to put in a exclamation mark there. And you can see there in that lesson, it tells you right here. So by using the exclamation mark, that's basically saying you really want to quit. That's just a part of it. You really want to quit. And we're not saving any changes to that. So now I'm going to go ahead and pull up my bashrc. Let's go ahead and see that there. We got our bashrc right down there. Let's clear this up real quick. And now we're going to open up bashrc. So how we do that, we do Vim. We're calling the program that we want to use, space, and then we're going to do our bash rc. Now, if I wasn't in the directory of the bashrc, which I am right now, so let's just go ahead and change directory real quick. Let's switch over to just slash downloads. Whoops, that has to be a capital D, otherwise it would not do the downloads. It'd be something else. So we're going to, oh crap, did I not type that correctly? Oh, I was CD bash downloads. Downloads. Okay, so CD into, which is change directory. So let's go ahead and change directory over there. Now my bashrc is not in this folder. Let's go ahead and use Vim, and then we're going to open up the bashrc, which is located in our home folder. Now, this is the tilde. That's just above your tab key if you're using a US keyboard. I don't know about the other ones, but you just hold down shift and hit that, and that just means your home folder. That's all that means. We're going to do a /, and then we're going to type the file that we want, which we know it's bashrc, in our home folder. There we go. So even if we're in a totally separate folder, we can still open the folder that the file that we want if it's in another folder. Now in Linux, they're called directories. I believe other operating systems use them as directories as well. It's just that in the user interface, the file manager, Windows Explorer, Nemo if you're in Linux Mint, when you're in your graphical file manager, everything's a folder, right? It's giving you a visual image of a folder. So right over here, you see these look like folders. That's basically what they are, folders. But the technical name for them is directories. So you can see a little bit about my bashrc right down in here. Now we're in Vim. We have our bashrc open. Let's go ahead and stroll up a little bit here. And we're going to make a change somewhere. And oh, you know what? I know what I wanted to add. Let's add in another alias for CP here. So we're going to use some of what we just learned here. And let's just use the append mode. in Vim. So we're going to hold shift and hit A. So now we're in insert mode. Let's go ahead and now do an alias. And then we're going to do CPI. Now we're going to do equal and put in single quotes there. Now this just gives us an alias to use so far. There's nothing in the alias yet. Let's go ahead and put something in the alias. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to use CP, which is copy, and just like we did with MVI and RMI up there, we're going to want to add we want to use the interactive, which the shorthand would just be -I -V. That's the shorthand for it. But when I'm doing it in my bashrc, I like to actually use longhand. It's just a little easier to read for me. But I mean, when I was a little newer than I am now, I had a hard time, remembering a lot of these things. So longhand helped me remember what that -I was for, which is interactive, and the -V, which is verbose. So now that we have that completed, let's put in space down here because I want a space down there. So now we've made our changes. We've added CP, which is the copy command in terminal. It's actually a program, but we run it as commands within the terminal. We've modified it or made a alias for it as CPI. What's in CPI? It's copy with interactive and verbose added. Now let's go ahead and save that puppy. Let's go ahead and do our shift. Whoops, we got to go back to, see, we almost made a mistake there. We're still in insert mode, so we have to leave that and go back to command mode. We're going to hit escape. There we go. No harm done. Shift. Colon. Now we're going to do W first for write, and then we're going to do Q for quit. So that's how you save. And then don't forget the exclamation mark right there. And then we're going to hit enter. Bam. So now we just saved that using Vim. Let's CD back to our home directory really quickly. There we go. So now we're back in our home directory. So now if I wanted to use those changes that I just made to my bashrc, I would have to leave the terminal and then bring the terminal back up. So we would exit, and then we would bring up a new terminal. And now all those changes that we just made in our bashrc have been saved. They're ready to run. So we used a little Vim Tutor to show you how to use Vim. We edited a little bit in our bashrc, and well, I think that if you guys spent more time with the Vim Tutor, you're definitely going to become very comfortable with Vim and be able to do pretty much anything with it. Again, the hard part for me to just leave my graphical text editors here. Oh, you can see it's already updated in here, the CPI and the graphical. The hard part for me is this feature right here, just being able to highlight, do copy, and then, just paste whatever anywhere, right? That's the thing that I, as a user, need from my text editor. And you can copy into Vim from different lines very easily, but copying something from outside of the Vim terminal window that you're running into the Vim terminal that you're running, the buffer system, I still haven't taken the time to learn what it does yet. Now, if you guys want to learn a little bit about some of these other things I have added in here, I'll do that in another video. It's super simple and easy. These are just learning tools that I have added in here. And matter of fact, I'll just make a quick video after this one to show you why I have that in there. And it's all done to help you learn. So I hope you guys learned a lot. If you have, please leave a like, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.